also impressive, so I'll make it as brief as possible so not take up too much time. He's a United States Army veteran, a successful businessman, a graduate of Washington University, and he too, amazingly, is the author of a book. It says, Bringing a Big Family Back to the Governor's Mansion, 10 Reasons You Should Elect Me, Governor, although I know, like, respect, and am quite fond of Hal Heiner, James Comer, and Will Scott. This book is available on Amazon for $19.95. Please welcome candidate Matt Bevin.
Thank you all for being here. It is a large crew I have, and I do my hats off to every candidate in this room, to your families. It has been quite a slug, it really has. I don't think there'll be anybody happier in 4 to 5 days than those of us that have eaten a lot of chicken together. And so I do truly tip my hat to you. How blessed we are to be here, gathered in freedom, to be here in safety, to be here not concerned for our lives, to be able to open this evening praying in the name of Jesus Christ, and we don't leave here worried about what will happen to us. We are blessed to live in the land of the free, to live in the home of the brave. I hope that we don't take that for granted. You're here tonight, you're gathered here, I assume in some measure, because you want a better version of Kentucky than we have today. You want better opportunity for yourselves. You want better opportunity for your children and for your grandchildren. But the question I ask you tonight is, how badly do you want it? How badly do you want it? Because the reality is, what we have here today and what we have been blessed with is a result of a degree of sacrifice, the likes of which very few in this room, if any, have any idea of. The people who came across the ocean hundreds of years ago in rickety boats, seeking the very freedoms that now increasingly we feel that we need to apologize for, they made incredible sacrifice. Do we want it as badly as they did? Do we want a better future as badly as those men that, if they were lucky enough to have shoes at Valley Forge in the winter of 1776, they ate their shoes to keep from starving to death? Do we want it that bad? Do we want it as badly as those men who have given their lives? They fell 3 feet off of a transport carrier on the beaches of Omaha in Normandy. Do we want it that bad? Because I'll tell you, if we don't, if there is not something within us that wants to, even some minor degree, the willingness to make the sacrifices that those that preceded us made, we don't deserve a better future. We don't. And so I ask you tonight, how badly do you want it? This isn't a game. It has become a game at times to people on both sides, but it isn't a game. What is at stake is great. America is an exceptional nation. America is a great nation. It is a nation among nations, both now and throughout the history of this world. But it didn't get here by accident. It's not going to stay here on autopilot. It is going to require some modicum of sacrifice from every single person in this room. And so again, I ask you, how badly do you want it? Abraham Lincoln, who we honor tonight, noted that good things may come to those who wait, but only the things left behind by those who hustle. And so my challenge to you tonight, regardless of who you're supporting, hustle. Hustle. Sacrifice. Make phone calls. Knock on doors. Talk to your friends. We owe this to the legacy of those who have given everything. 1.5 million Americans, since the inception of this nation, have died in uniform to afford us the right to go to the ballot box next Tuesday, and yet fewer than 2 out of 10 of us will even take the time to do it. Shame on us. Shame on us. An extraordinary sacrifice has been paid. And my challenge to you tonight, do your homework. Look at those of us that are running and decide amongst yourselves, which of us do you feel is the most appropriate? I can tell you without any question, I've spent a lot of time with the other candidates over the last months. We've heard each other speak time and again. There is not one of us who is not imminently more qualified than Jack Conway, and please don't forget that. I grew up in a humble way, below the poverty level, was able to pay my way through school. I was the second of 6 kids, raised crops, raised animals, went to Washington Lee, joined the military, 4 years of active duty, as a U.S. Army officer, but I got out, and for the last 20 years I've been a job creator. This is what I do. This is why I'm running. I'm running because I love Kentucky. Because Kentucky could be a greater version of what it is. Because we are blessed with riverways and roadways and mountains and lakes in a geographic location in 4 seasons that are typically not too extreme. You couldn't replicate this at any price. We've got resources in coal and timber, and we are our own worst enemy at times with respect to how we marshal these resources on our own behalf. We can be better. This is why I'm running. I want a future for my children, and I do have a lot of them. I want a future for your children and grandchildren. I want opportunities to come to us that are based upon the decisions we make today and in the days ahead, just as those that preceded us have made sacrifices. One of the questions you're faced with as you look at this race is who can actually win. There's 3 parts. You've got to win the primary, you've got to win the general election, and then you have to do the job. Who among us can win the general election? I would challenge you, please, go to mattbevin.com, MattBevin.com. If you have not yet done so, take a look at myself and Janine Hampton.